Okay. She doesn't have an idea who the other passenger might be in first. Apparently they might have spread something, so they have a hard time breathing or getting in that area. What's going on, Betty?
Italian 1 to Manhattan.
Italian 1.
We just had a plane crash into Alpha 4 of the World Trade Center, transmit a second alarm, and start relocating companies into the area.
Okay, so we'll stay open. I think we might have lost her.
Okay.
When it comes to lending and leasing to businesses and consumers, CIT stands apart. Because when you combine nearly a century of experience with dedication, desire, and imagination,
The World Trade Center, tower number 1 is on fire. The whole outside of the building, it was just a huge explosion.
wonder that today's business leaders put their trust in today's financing leader, CIT.
With posted pop-up notes and the handy dispenser, you always know where your notes are.
Anybody copy? Say that again, please.
I said looks like we lost the primary target about 20 west of Kennedy, and we had a report of an ELT in the area. We're going to, I guess we'll get some Coast Guard activity up there.
Well, we lost the track, too.
Hey, Boston, this is New York. What type of aircraft was the American?
767.
This is the ACI watch. Say again, if you lost track of the aircraft, over?
Boston has lost track, and on our frequency we have confirmed that it was a hijack. That's on the tapes.
Yeah, New York confirms we've lost the track as well, and we got a report of an ELT in the area that the track was in.
Would you like to lower your monthly mortgage?
Engine 1 on to Manhattan.
Engine 1, oh, go.
Roll every available ambulance you got to this position.
This just in, you are looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center. The CNN Center right now is just beginning to work on this story, obviously calling our sources and trying to figure out exactly what happened, but clearly something relatively devastating happening this morning there on the south end of the island of Manhattan. That is, once again, a picture of one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
Descending really quick, too, yeah.
Well, that's
2,500 feet now. He just dropped 800 feet in like one sweep.
That's another situation.
You say that emergency vehicles are there, understandably so, but of course the major concern is human loss. I mean, do you know if there were many people in the building?
Oh, another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just flew directly over my building.
You have a second plane into the other tower.
Another one just hit the building.
Wow.
Another one hit it hard.
Another one just hit the World Trade.
We just saw a plane circling the building a second ago on the shot right before that.
I think there may have been another impact. Can you tell? I just heard another very loud bang, and a very large plane that might have been a DC-9 or a 747 just flew past my window. And
The second one just hit the Trade Center.
Okay. Yeah, we got to alert the military real quick on this.
It has now impacted the building. I'm trying to see if it's the different tower.
They try to have the intelligence to avoid happening international terrorism, if that is what this is, and I don't know what it is very hard to penetrate because it's not very, it doesn't have a hierarchy of authority, and it's cellular, and it's a lot of different people motivated for religious type reasons, hatred reasons, and you can necessarily not know a lot about what's going on in an agency if you're in at some level because it's so segmented.
Again, I'm getting a report now that it was a United Airlines plane that plowed into the building. We don't know whether that negates the American Airlines reported hijacking or whether or not that was a second plane. So at this point, we're getting different reports. Go ahead, Mr. Kelso.
Yeah, I mean, you telling me that, Brian, if that is...
Washington, this is Gopher 06.
Gopher 06, guys.
Yes, sir, that aircraft is down. He's in our 12 o'clock position. Looks like it's just to the northwest of the airfield at this time, sir.
Gopher 86, thank you. Descend and maintain 2,000.
Okay, we're down to 2,000. And this is Gopher 06. It looks like that aircraft crashed into the Pentagon, sir.
Yeah.
In size.
You know, it's beyond belief, but it's not beyond belief. I mean, we've seen this hatred find its way into the embassy bombings in Africa. We've seen this hatred at the USS Cole. We've seen it at the World Trade Center 9.
So, again, folks, stay with us. This is all coming into us. Breaking news. You can imagine the catastrophe that we're trying to deal with here. But clearly 3 explosions, 2 at the World Trade Center, one outside or very near the Pentagon. Molly Falconer is at one of the New York area hospitals and has some updated information on the number of injuries. Molly?
Hi, John. I'm coming to you live from downtown Manhattan, where St. Vincent's Hospital basically looks like it is under siege. There are flares out forming a block perimeter around this hospital. I've watched one victim come out of an ambulance, go in on a stretcher. They look exceedingly injured, and right now there are hospital beds lined up on the street right outside the hospital, waiting with paramedics right next to them for the waves of injuries. They are obviously expecting to come in here. There's yet another one. I don't know if you can hear the sirens coming in now. New York City police officers have locked this place down with wooden barricades. More are coming in on trucks right now. I'm watching lit flares get put in the asphalt here. There are hundreds of people lined up all around this hospital, and lines of people trying to get on payphones and hard lines just to get out to call into the hospital or call their loved ones. Nothing works down here. Our cell phones are down. All we can watch now are just the sirens and the paramedics on standby. The entire hospital staff.
All right, we have lost Molly Falconer's connection. That would not be unusual given the fact that the World Trade Center is a hub of communications in this city.
Other high-profile buildings. Nancy Gabrino, I'm not sure. Do we know if the United Nations has been evacuated yet?
The police department on the New York side has ordered the United Nations evacuated. In fact, they did that very early on, almost immediately after it became apparent what was going on here. Right now, at the World Trade Center, the emergency units are reporting there's still debris falling onto the street on the east side of the building, including a second body, which has fallen from the wreckage on the upper floors. They're also talking about people who are on the roof, and they've asked if the aviation unit from the police department can get up there and pick people up. But again, because of that smoke, as we discussed before, they're going to have real trouble edging in there.
As we look at the Pentagon, again, we have to say that sometimes the camera and the eye don't see precisely what is happening. We have now had eyewitness reports from our sources in Washington say they did see a plane crash in the vicinity of the Pentagon. We're looking at it from the Washington end, which would be to the east of the Pentagon, slightly to the northeast of the Pentagon itself. And it looks very much as if there is fire in the courtyard itself in that central quad. But you can see a small plume of smoke on the northern side of the building as well. At least I think it's the north. Yes, it is the northern side of the building as well. And we're not absolutely certain. The Associated Press, quoting a senior U.S. official, or quoting a U.S. official, is now saying affirmatively that one of the 2 planes that crashed into the World Trade Center was hijacked after takeoff from Boston. At this time of day, any number of aircraft taking off from Boston. ABC's John McCleffy believes that it was an American Airlines flight number 11, bound for Los Angeles. And I realize when saying that, we're going to put the fear of God into a lot of people on the West Coast and people who know, connected with that flight. But our Pentagon correspondent John McCarthy just reports into us that American Airlines Flight 11, bound for Los Angeles from Boston, was actually hijacked out of Boston. That's a helicopter over the Pentagon. I apologize to the audience. We have two separate monitors here. They show different pictures. Could you tell me which one the audience is seeing at home so I can work with that? And may I not have to ask again? Thanks very much. I don't. And so we now have the first incident at the Trade Center and the second trade incident at the Trade Center as two aircraft. We know that one of them, we know at this moment that one of them, according to officials talking both to the Associated Press and a confirmation from ABC's John McCarthy at the Pentagon, that it was a commercial aircraft that was hijacked out of Boston, which could have been any time before 9 o'clock this morning, because the first attack on the Trade Tower was just before 9 o'clock, and the second one was after that. And John Miller, you're listening.
Actually, it's interesting. There's no way to characterize any part of this as fortunate. But if you look at cities who are prepared to handle an incident like this, and as you've seen New York's emergency response to this, it is probably one of the few places that is prepared with the kind of equipment, response, and rescue efforts that could actually address something like this. And Washington is probably the other. Immediately when this happened, the entire emergency service unit, which comprises hundreds of specially trained cops, was mobilized to the scene. Now a triage center for the injured has been set up just around the corner from the World Trade Center. It's an incredible scene down there with a...
United 93 is 20 miles northwest of Johnstown.
20 miles northwest on primary?
Well, that's a report from another aircraft.
Asking all planes not to take off. Now the FAA has ordered all aircraft currently in the air over the United States to land at the nearest airport. Now you can imagine what may be happening, or what they think might be happening in some part of the country, that there is somebody else on some aircraft coming from somewhere or going somewhere with evil intentions, and so all aircraft currently in the air over the United States have been ordered to land at the nearest airport.
I think
hang on a sec, John. I just want to check one thing, because one of the very first people the president talked to was the director of the FBI, and Pierre Thomas, who covers the Justice Department and the FBI for us, has been here. They may think they prepare for this kind of thing, Pierre, but man, it must have been a shock.
Stunning shock. The FBI Special Operations Center is now in full alert.
Coldfield come. Please, to Manhattan, urgent. Okay. One of the buildings is partially collapsed.
What do we have? We don't...
It looks like a new large plume of smoke.
Used. The FAA has banned all aircraft takeoffs nationwide. Here in New York, the city is on a full terrorist alert. Bridges and tunnels are closed. You recall the World Trade Center was the target of a terrorist bombing in 1993.
Ability for these astonishing attacks is made that we can believe. Again, you're looking again at the interstate road, Route 395 that runs down past the Pentagon. That is just, of course, across the river from Washington D.C. And the smoke you're seeing is indeed from the area out by the helipad, which can be seen by drivers as they go by the Pentagon, and you're seeing the smoke from it. It appeared from some pictures we saw earlier, John.
Here. Oh, yeah. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, when it comes down, we're... All right. We do need to put it down.
The other tower just collapsed. Major collapse.
America, offer a prayer.
Everybody get out. We had to crash to the second tower. Everybody's running from there. This is here it comes. Get in. Hold on.
Both trade towers.
Lower Manhattan, thank you very much.
Earlier today, an official said they were also concerned about United Flight 175, Boston to Los Angeles, and now we have reports that concern was justified. A second plane has gone down, United Flight 175. Again, that was from Boston to LA. And as you look at the Pentagon, which was also hit by a plane,